Americans are rightfully rejoicing over the death of Osama Bin Laden, a tremendous victory in the war on terror that wouldn't have been possible without the skill and professionalism of our military. But as we told you in last week's Freedom Minute, Bin Laden's death doesn't mean the end of the war, just a new beginning. At this critical juncture in this decades-long conflict, we should remember the words of one of the first leaders in this struggle, former Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld, who spoke of the importance of recognizing knowns and unknowns as we go about combating terrorism. Here is what is known. Finding and killing Osama bin Laden would have been impossible without the extraordinary security measures put in place by the Bush administration. The intelligence that led to bin Laden resulted from the heightened interrogation techniques used on captured terrorists, techniques that detractors refer to as torture. These critics claim that these interrogation techniques betray our values. Nothing could be further from the truth. Methods such as waterboarding may be extremely tough, but they're safe enough that they're used in the training of members of our own military. Unlike vicious regimes that break bones or cut off fingers, American interrogators have always gone out of their way to ensure that none of our methods result in permanent physical harm. They found a balance between being aggressive and being humane, and that balance has resulted in the death of the world's foremost terrorist. Had the critics had their way, bin Laden would still be on the run, and the world would be a more dangerous place. Here is what is unknown: the role that Pakistan played in sheltering bin Laden. The fact that the terrorist mastermind was holed up in a suburb of the nation's capital, in a giant compound that inevitably drew attention, raises grave questions about Pakistan's standing as a so-called ally in the war on terror. While the country's nuclear arsenal and its potent Islamist movement will keep the U.S. from completely cutting it loose, the Pakistani government must understand that every cent of American aid is liable to disappear if we believe that the government in Islamabad can't be trusted. America displayed the full scope of its strength in the raid that killed bin Laden. Now it's time for the entire world to understand that we will bring equal force to bear on other terrorists and on any nation that harbors or supports them. What was true a decade ago is equally true today. In the war on terrorism, you're either with us or you're against us. That's this week's Freedom Minute.